Very, very good morning to all of you, my friends. Welcome back. I hope you guys have revised what I have discussed in the previous session, and I hope you guys were able to solve the questions on process costing. So now today, we are starting with one more chapter that is a very important chapter. Just like process costing, you will find question in every attempt from service costing. So examination point of view, this chapter is very important. You will find questions in every attempt on service costing. Now, when talking about service costing, it's a method of costing used by those companies who are providing us services. So we call it as service sector costing also. So service costing, it's a method of costing used by those companies who are providing us services, be it hotels, hospitals, restaurants, salons, gymnasium, whatever it is. So the industries, those people who are in the service industry, to calculate the cost per unit of service, they use a service costing. Now, since this is a revisionary class, so before starting with few questions, if you guys have any doubts or if you guys want me to cover any specific point, I'm there to address all your queries. So anyone with any doubts or queries, guys? Any particular question you guys want me to discuss? Yes, Kushi, Gabbar, Tamanna, Khushbu, Gayatri. Anyone with any doubts or queries? Any question if you want me to discuss? I'm here to address all your queries. Yes, Tamanna, tell me.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, while calculating the cost, I'm not understanding which basis we have to use for cost per kilometer, like why sales or why cost we are using as a on the
I'm not
numerator.
getting any. Can you please come back, please?
Sir, like for cost per passenger kilometer, you use total cost, no, sir, as numerator divided by kilometers. So, how are we using the revenue or cost, sir, as numerator?
So you are saying, again, can you please repeat? Can you be a bit slow? I'm not getting what you are saying.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes, yes. Can you be a bit more loud?
So while calculating like cost per passenger kilometer, we will do total cost divided by number of passenger kilometers, no sir.
Yes.
So the numerator value, like how we are taking it, sir. Suppose if question changes fare per passenger kilometer, then we should
Uh,
take total cost or any revenue.
See, if some information is given as regards, see, first of all, if it is given cost per ton per passenger kilometer or cost per ton kilometer, cost divided by passenger kilometer or ton kilometer. But if the question is asking you guys to calculate the fare, if the question is asking you guys to calculate the fare and some information is given as regards the profit element, then cost plus profit divided by passenger kilometer.
Okay, sir.
Anything else?
No, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Now, so this service costing is used by the companies who are engaged in providing us services. So let's say in general, what we do in service costing is we calculate the total cost divided by units. In service costing, see, there is no specific format like cost sheet wherein you have to calculate prime cost, work cost, cost of production, cost of sales. There is no format as such. In simple, in service costing, you have to calculate the total cost divided by units. Now, units may vary from industry to industry. If it is hotels, the units may vary. If it is hospitals, the units may vary. If it is transportation industry, units may vary. So the units may vary from industry to industry. Further, there are two terms. It can be either single unit or it can be composite unit. When talking about single unit, if there is only one element, it is single unit. And if there are two elements, it is composite unit. So let's take transportation industry. In transportation industry, single unit will be that question can ask you to calculate cost per kilometer. Question can ask you to calculate cost per mile. Question can ask you to calculate cost per passenger. Or it can be cost per ton also. And in composite unit, it can be cost per ton kilometer. So there are two elements, that is ton kilometer, passenger kilometer, ton mile. Similarly, in hotel industry, it can be cost per room. It can be cost per day. And in composite unit, it can be cost per room day. In hospitals, it can be cost per patient. It can be cost per bed. And in composite unit, it can be cost per. So if there is only one element, we call it as single unit. And if there are two or more than two elements, we call it as composite unit. Khushbu, I'll try to take question number 4. Don't worry. So this is all what about single unit and composite unit. I request you guys to copy this explanation, please. Giving you a minute time to copy. Now, very important, guys, in transportation industry specifically, composite unit can be calculated using two ways. That is absolute and commercial. When talking about absolute approach, it uses weighted average approach. And when talking about commercial, it uses simple average approach. Let me discuss this concept with the help of an example that is given in the study material. I request you guys to please open your study material. I request you guys to open your study material. Illustration number 1. So let's start with illustration number 1, page number 12.8, wherein a lorry starts with a load of 20 metric tons of goods from station A. It unloads 8 metric ton in station B and balance goods in station C. So there is a lorry whose capacity is 20 metric tons. So a lorry starts with a load of 20 metric tons of goods from station A. It unloads 8 metric tons in station B and balance at station C. On return trip, it reaches station A with a load of 16 metric tons loaded at station C. The distance between A to B, B to C, and C to A are 80, 120, and 160 kilometers respectively. You are required to calculate absolute metric ton kilometer and commercial metric ton kilometer. So let's discuss this question. So there are 3 cities, A, B, and C. The lorry is going from A to B, B to C, and C to A. So this is the route map of lorry. Now, very important, guys, when it starts from origin, that is A, it is loaded with 20 metric tons. So it means what? 20 metric tons were loaded at A and they were transported towards B. However, at B, they unloaded few quantity. So it is given that it unloads 8 metric ton in station B. So after unloading 8 metric tons, they are still left out with 12 metric tons that are transported from B to C. Now, while in the return journey on return trip, it reaches station A with a load of 16 metric tons at station C. So at station C, they load 16 metric ton and it goes directly to A. So this is all what about the metric tons that were transported from A to B, B to C, and C to A. So these are the metric tons and the question is asking ton kilometers. So some information is also given in the question as regards kilometer, wherein distance from A to B is 80 kilometers. From B to C, it is 120 kilometers. And from C to A, it is 160 kilometers. So this is the master chart. Now, once this master chart is ready, we can easily calculate 10 kilometers. So from A to B, it is 20 into 80. B to C, it is 12 into 120. So we will get the weighted average ton kilometer, that is the quantity into kilometer, quantity into kilometer, quantity into kilometer. So this will be 5,600 ton kilometer. Now, when it comes to commercial, that is simple average method, the concept is very simple: average quantity or average tons into total distance. So it is 20 plus 12 plus 16 divided by 3 into the total kilometer, that is 360. So this will be 5760. So when talking about absolute, it talks about weighted average method. And when talking about commercial, it talks about simple average method, wherein the average quantity transported into the total distance. So this concept of absolute and commercial applies only in transportation industry. If you guys have any doubts or queries, you guys can post your queries. Further, very important guys, whenever you find a question on transportation industry, try to convert it in diagrammatic form. See, herein we have simplified the question with this diagram, wherein we have drawn, we have arranged it in a route map way, wherein A to B, B to C, C to A. There are many tricky questions also wherein you will find in the past practice manual and past examination. So with the help of diagram, you can easily solve or you can easily calculate passenger kilometers or ton kilometers. If you guys have any doubts or queries, you guys can post your queries. Very good, Jaya. Thank you so much. Congratulations. There was one of my student named Jaya. I think she's live in the session and she has scored 91 marks in costing. Thank you so much, Jaya. Thanks for the compliment and wish you good luck for your finals. Very good, Jaya. Anyone with any doubts or queries, guys? See, one more point. As such, as I mentioned, that there is no format in service costing. However, specifically in transportation costing, in transportation industry, you have to divide all the cost in three parts. That is, specifically in transportation industry, when you are preparing service cost sheet, you have to classify the cost in three parts. That is fixed or standing cost. That is all the fixed cost will be classified here. Next is variable or running cost. And third one is maintenance cost. So specifically in transportation industry, we have to classify the cost in three parts. That is fixed or standing cost, variable or running cost, and third one is maintenance cost. So this will be A, this will be B, this will be C. So this is how we will calculate and classify the total cost. Rest in any other industry, you can simply write down the cost, or you have to check the question and check out the hints that what all data question is providing, and accordingly you can classify the cost. Let's say in hotels only, if the cost is categorized in two parts, that is variable and fixed in the question itself. So question is giving enough of hints that you have to classify the cost in two parts, that is variable and fixed. So very important, guys. As such, there is no format apart from transportation industry. However, for every industry, you have to check the hints that are given in the question, and accordingly, you can prepare the service cost sheet. Now, there is a query from Khushbu. Can you please tell me, Khushbu, where exactly you are finding the things difficult? Yes, Khushbu.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Can you be please bit more loud?
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, tell me.
Sir, the thing is that when we were doing like fuel and any other trip portion, we considered twice like we are going and we are coming cost. But
What?
sir, like in other transport cautions, we consider twice timing if we are taking any trip round, like one round. But in this question, when you didn't consider like twice multiplying with two,
Okay, Khushbu,
when you
I
were
think you are
solving
finding
average cost per
difficulty
student per
in
month.
calculating the kilometers, right?
Yes, sir.
Illustration number 4, right?
Yes, sir.
So should I discuss illustration number 4 if you don't mind?
Yes, sir, please.
Because I think what I've observed that many of the students are facing problem in illustration number 4. So let's discuss illustration number 4. I request you guys to download the material. I have taken similar question, but it is comparatively easier. Anyways, I'm discussing illustration number 4, and that question that is there in my material, it is from past RTP. So you can solve it on your own. I request you guys to open illustration number 4. I'm discussing this illustration number 4. Illustration number 4 from study material. Page number 12.16. So let's start with illustration number 4. SMC is a public school having 5 buses, each plying in different direction for transport of its school students. In a view of large number of students availing of the bus service, the bus works in 2 shifts, both in the morning and in the afternoon, and the buses are garaged in the school. The workload of the students has been so arranged that in the morning shift, in the morning, the first trip pick up the senior students, and second trip, flying an hour later, pick up the junior students. Similarly, in the afternoon, the first trip take the junior students back home, and an hour later, the second trip takes the senior students home. So it's basically in the morning they are picking up in the first batch senior, then junior, and in the afternoon shift they are dropping back first the junior and then the senior. The distance traveled by each bus one way is 8 kilometers. The school works for 25 days in a month and remain closed for vacation in May, June, and December. So it means bus is running for 9 months in a year. Bus fee, however, is payable by the students for all the 12 months in a year. Now, the details are given as regards driver salary, cleaner salary. Everyone is paid for full 12 months. License fees, insurance, repairs, maintenance, purchase price of the bus, life of the bus, scrap value, diesel cost. Mileage is also given, that is, each bus gives an average mileage of 4 km per liter of diesel. Seating capacity of each bus is 50 students. The seating capacity is fully occupied during the whole year. Now, students picked up and dropped within a range up to 4 km of distance from school are charged half fare, and 50% of the students traveling in each trip are in this category. So those who are traveling up to 4 kilometers, they are charged half fare, and 50% students are traveling up to 4 kilometers. Since the charges are to be based on average cost, you are required to prepare a statement showing the expenses of operating a single bus and fleet of 5 buses for a year. So we have to prepare the yearly statement, not the monthly statement, for 1 bus and 5 buses. Work out the average cost per student per month in respect of the students coming from a distance up to 4 kilometers and more than 4 kilometers. So let's start with this question now. So let's start with driver salary and cleaner salary. So it is 54,000 for 1 bus. And for all the 5 buses, it is 2,70,000. Cleaner salary is 3,500 per month into 12. That is 40,000, 42,000. And 1 cleaner is employed for all the 5 buses. So for all 5 buses, it is 42,000. And if we divide it by 5, it is 8,400. Next is license fees, taxes, etc. 8,600 per bus per annum. $8,600 per bus per annum. So 8,600 into 5, it is 43,000 for all the 5 buses. Insurance is 10,000 per bus per annum. So 10,000 per bus per annum. So 10,000 for 1 bus. So for 5 buses, it is 50,000. Repairs and maintenance will go under the head repairs and maintenance. Now purchase price of a bus is 15 lakh. So let's calculate the depreciation also now. Purchase price is 15 lakh. Scrap value of bus at the end of the life is 3 lakh. So minus 3 lakh divided by useful life is how much? 12 years. So this will be 1 lakh. And this will be 5 lakh. Now diesel cost is 45 rupees per liter. So we have to calculate the diesel cost. So it will go under variable or running cost. Now to calculate the diesel cost, we have to calculate the kilometers. Now see, very important, read the language of the question carefully, wherein the question is saying that in the morning the bus picks up the senior students, then come back to school, then go to pick up the junior students, and then come back to school. And further, very important, at the day end, it is garaged in the school. Now see, bus is starting from school and it is picking up the senior students. It is picking up all the senior students. 1 second, distance traveled one way is how much? 8 kilometers. So it is picking up the senior students and it is coming back to school. Then it is going to pick up the junior student. Then it is coming back to school. So this is for senior and this is for junior. Overall, it is pick up in morning. Pick up in morning. Now in the afternoon shift, it drops junior students. It comes back to school. Thereafter, it drops senior students and it is garaged in school. I repeat again, from school it starts, it drops the junior students, come back to the school, then it drops senior students and then the bus is garaged in school. They are dropping the junior, they are dropping the senior. Drop back home in afternoon. So one way they are traveling for 8 kilometers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So in short, a bus is traveling for 64 kilometers in a day. One bus is traveling for 64 kilometers in a day. And how many days in a month? 25 days in a month. And 9 months in a year. So 14,400 kilometers per month. Now, Khushbu, can you please tell me where exactly you are finding the things difficult?
Sir, it's when we are solving average cost per student per month.
No, this
It's
part is
all
clear
clear.
now?
Yes, sir.
Crystal clear? Any doubts in this part?
No, sir, very clear.
Okay. So what I suggest is that whenever you find such type of question, try to convert it in diagrammatic form. Because sometimes, in examination pressure, many students skip few points. So better convert it into diagrammatic form. Anyways, we have the kilometers available now, 14,400 kilometers a bus is traveling. And the bus gives a mileage of 4 kilometer per liter of diesel. And the cost of diesel is also given with in the question, that is 45 rupees per liter. So it comes to 1,62,000 for one bus. So for 5 buses, it will be 8,10,000. Now next is maintenance cost, and it is given repairs and maintenance 35,000 per bus per annum. $35,000 per bus per annum into 5 buses, it comes to 1,75,000. So that's it. Now let's calculate the total. 54,000, 8,400, 8,600. Now, this is what the cost we can say cost per bus per month will be how much? Since we have to calculate the monthly fare, so 3,78,000 divided by 12, so it comes to 31,500. So this is the cost per bus per month. Now, the important part, Gayatri round trip means to and fro. That is, suppose if you are traveling from Mumbai to Ahmedabad, it is single trip is Mumbai to Ahmedabad and round trip is Mumbai to Ahmedabad and Ahmedabad back to Mumbai. I hope it is clear now, Gayatri. Okay. Now, Khushbu, and in fact to everyone, how many students a bus is catering? Can you guys tell me? Just a simple question to all of you. Before starting with the solution, see, this question is a very old question and in examination, ये question बहुत बार आ चुका है. Or similar question, I mean, examiner do ask many times. So the point is very simple. My question is to all of you. How many students a particular bus is catering? Total, there are 5 buses. One bus is catering how many students? Can you guys tell me? Waiting for your answers. One bus is catering how many students? I've got answer from Khushbu. Rest all waiting for your answer. Yes, Gayatri, Tamanna, Khushbu, Gayat, Avjeet. Miss Barna, Vishnu. How many students a bus is catering? Very good, Gayatri. Your answer is correct. Rest everyone incorrect answer. Khushi Gupta, Gabbar. Everybody's answer is incorrect. See, before starting with the solution, you should try to understand what the question is saying and what the question is asking. See, half of the work is done when you read the question carefully. And herein, my simple question to all of you, I've got correct answer from only one student. See what many students do in this question. They see the question, they try to prepare this statement. They try to calculate the kilometer. Till then, everything is fine. But the last part, to fix up the fare, to calculate the equivalent number of students, many students get confused. So the point is that they don't read the question carefully. It's a very simple question to all of you. Read it again. See, मैं पढ़ाऊंगा आपको सब समझ में आएगा. Try to figure out my question to all of you. एक बस कितने स्टूडेंट को cater करती है? How many students a bus is catering? Still only I've got correct answer from Gayatri. Rest everyone in. So very good, girl. Now it is correct. Khushbu, now it is correct. See, earlier you posted incorrect answer. Now you are posting correct answer. Very good, Khushbu. Gur, very good. Gayatri, very good. So as many students mentioned, a bus is catering 50 junior students. That is, they are picking up junior students and they are dropping back junior students. Similarly, senior students also, the senior student, they are picking up and they are dropping back home senior students. So in short, a bus is catering 50 senior and 50 junior students. I'm writing also for your reference. A bus is catering 50 plus 50, 100 students. Right? A bus is catering 100 students. Now, 50 students, it is given in the question that 50% are traveling up to 4 kilometers. So, up to 4 kilometers, how many students are traveling? Total 100 into 50%. So, 50 students are traveling up to 4 kilometers. And more than 4 kilometers, it will be how much? 50 students. Out of 100, 50 students are traveling up to 4 kilometers and 50 students are traveling more than 4 kilometers. Now, up to 4 kilometers, let's say their fare is X. See, I'm not teaching any rocket science. I'm just systematically arranging the question. I'm just writing down the question in my language. They are saying that if their fare is X, then their fare will be 2X. Or agar, if it is more than 4 kilometers, if their fare is X, then their up to 4 kilometers, their fare will be 0.5X. That is half of the fare what is charged for more than 4 kilometers. So let's assume fare up to 4 kilometers is X. So more than 4 kilometers, it will be double. Therefore, two X. Now, from X fare, from how many students will be charging? 50 students will be charging X fare. And from 50 students will be charging 2X fare. And this total amount will be equal to 31,500 in a month. So this will be 50 into 200 plus 50. 150X should be equal to 3,100. So 200 is the value of X. So fare up to 4 kilometers, how much it will be? 210. And more than 4 kilometers, it will be how much? 420 rupees. Anyone with any doubts or queries? See, the solution is there that is given in the study material is also correct. But yes, there are ways to solve the question. I find it very easy. That's why I have just solved it in that way. Anyone with any doubts or queries? Yes, Kushbu, any doubts now?
No, sir, it is clear. It's just the ICI solution is so confusing.
Yeah, it's a bit confusing. It's a bit tricky, but I hope this part you are thorough with. Everyone, anyone with any
Yes,
doubts or
sir. Thank you,
queries?
sir.
Yeah, no worries. I request you guys to copy this part at least because this part is very important. So giving you 2 minutes time. See again, wherever you are finding the difficulty and I'm explaining the question, try to write it down. Always remember guys, what you will write, you will remember. Don't wait that, okay, I'll take the screenshot. Every time you can't check recorded session. So what you will write, you will remember. So take your time. I'm giving you 2 minutes time to copy this part at least. And this question is very important. Examiner do ask these types of questions quite frequently in exams. So we are done with illustration number 4. Anyone with any doubts or queries in any other question of study material, you can mention it. I'll discuss the question. Anywhere you are finding difficulty in study material or any of the question, you guys can post your query. This is not the regular class. It's a revisionary class. And any conceptual queries also, you guys can just mention it. I'll be addressing all your queries. So any doubts in the study material or any conceptual queries? Else I'll start with few questions. Yes. Any questions specifically you guys want me to discuss? Any RTP or MTP based question, if you guys want me to discuss, I'm here to address all your queries. Further, I request you guys now to download the material what I have provided over the portal. I'll be starting now with question number 1 from my material. It is from RTP September 2025. I request you guys to please download the material what I have provided. I'll be discussing a question from RTP September 2025. No, Mehak, very good morning. I think you have joined a bit late. See, these as such, examiner can ask you question from any industry, be it the industries that are given in study material or any random question on any industry. You have to follow the basic concept. That is, you have to try to calculate the total cost divided by units. Units may vary from industry to industry. The rest, everything is same. So let's start with this question from RTP September 2025. Due to frequent power cuts and inconsistent water supply from the electricity board, Anju Manufacturing Private Limited, a mid-sized engineering goods manufacturer based in Pune, decided to set up its own captive power generation plant. The plant is critical for ensuring uninterrupted production across its two major units. Unit 1 produces industrial machinery component, highly power intensive operation. And unit 2 manufactures agriculture equipment part with moderate power load. Now the factory operations heavily depends on continuous electricity and water supply for running CNC machine, foundry operation, welding units and assembly lines. Any electricity failure lead to major production delay, idle labor costs and penalties from the client due to late deliveries. After analyzing the risk of depending entirely on the electricity board, the company board of directors approved a proposal to invest in dedicated steam boiler and power generation plant within the factory premise itself. So herein the company is manufacturing few things wherein it is highly dependent upon the power supply. Since there is problem with the power supply, so they are setting up their own unit to generate electricity. So herein there is a proposal to invest in a dedicated steam boiler and power generation plant within the factory premise. So the details are given wherein the following information has been taken from the records in connection with generation of power during the month. Very important, guys. This is the monthly data that is given. So coal used is 1800 ton at the rate 230 rupees per ton. Freight and handling charges are 7% of the value of coal used. Oil is 15 tons at the rate 4,500 per ton. Water is 80,000 liters at the rate 0.07 per liter. Steam boiler cost is 50 lakh with a residual value of 2 lakh after a life of 10 years. Salary and wages of the boiler house. There are 3 types of workers, so the details are given. And now, recovery on account of sale of ashes. So there is some byproduct that is generated and we are recovering 150 tons at the rates rupees 60 per ton. So this is a recovery, so it will be deducted from the cost. Now the next part is salary and wages of the generating station. So earlier the details were given for boiler house. Now the details are given for generating station, wherein again 3 types of workforce are available. Repairs and maintenance of generating equipment, depreciation of generating equipment, insurance premium of generating plant, fuel handling and storage expenses, rent of generating station premise, share of administration charges. Now, total number of units generated before losses were 2 lakh units. So, after all this exercise, the total number of units generated were 2 lakh. Normal loss is 3,000 units generated. So out of 2 lakh units generated, 3,000 we assume it as normal loss. Electricity purchased from grid to meet emergency requirement is 5,000 units at the rate 6 per unit. So to meet out the emergency demand, they have purchased electricity that is 5,000 units at the rate 6 per unit. Now, next point, 10% of the effective units. Very important. 10% of the effective units generated are used internally by the generator department itself. So, ultimately, out of 2 lakh units, 3,000 is the normal loss. Apart from this, they have purchased 5,000 units. Further, they are saying out of the effective units generated, 10% is used by the generator department itself. Some additional information is also given wherein the purchased electricity units are not subject to any loss. Yes, it's by default. That is the units that are purchased, that is 5,000 units, there will be no normal loss. And emergency purchased units, they are talking about these 5,000 units purchased. So they are saying that emergency purchase units should be added to the effective units available for use. you are required to calculate the total cost of electricity generated and the cost of generating electricity per unit. Ajit sir, are you there? Ajit sir? Wait for a second, guys. This is the question, guys. Question number 1. I request you guys to take the screenshot and read the question once again. This is the first page. I request you guys to take the screenshot. This is the second part. Or else you can simply type over Google RTP September 2025. This is the third part. Done, guys? RTP September 2025. Done, guys? Admin sir, can you please tell Ajit sir to check the PPT is not approved.
सर हमारे पास अभी पेंडिंग में कुछ नहीं दिखा रहा है.
अजीत सर वो नहीं दिखाई दे रहा स्टूडेंट्स को.
आप एक बार दोबारा से वो कर दीजिए, मैं अप्रूव कर दे रहा हूँ. बस
एक
इस
मिनट.
पॉसिबल.
हाँ, मैं अभी उसको कर देता हूँ. एक मिनट. अजीत सर आप एक बार चेक करेंगे प्लीज.
डन सर. अब देखिएगा बच्चों को.
ओके. you guys can download the notes from the portal. The notes are available. So now I hope, Garg, this part is clear. I think, as you mentioned, that you did 2 mistakes. I hope now you are thorough with the question. See, half of the work is done, as I mentioned, if you read the question carefully. Anyway, so let's start with the question now. So let's start with the statement of cost. So let's start with boiler house cost first. So coal used is 1800 tons at the rate 230 per ton. So this will be 4,14,000. Now, freight and handling charges are 7% of the value of the coal. So it is 28,980. Oil is 15 tons at the rate 4,500 per ton. So it comes to 67,500. Water, it is 80,000 liter at the rate 0.07 per liter. Steam boiler cost is 50 lakh with a residual value of 2 lakh after the life of 10 years. So 50 lakh minus 2 lakh, useful life is 10 years. Since the data is given for months, so into 1 divided by 12. So it comes to 40,000. Now move towards the next part, that is salaries now. Salaries and wages of boiler house. So skilled, semi-skilled and unskilled workers. $15 at the rate 1,300 per month. 30 at the rate 1100 per month. So this will be 45,000. This will be 33,000. Further, there is recovery. $150 at the rate 60. So here we'll get the total cost. Now next is the generating station. We'll start with the salaries and wages now. So 60 workers at the rate 1200 per month. $20 at the rate 1000 per month. $30 at the rate 850 per month. Now next is repairs, maintenance of generating equipment. $30,000. Depreciation. $75,000. Insurance premium. $15,000. Fuel handling and storage. $8,000. Rent. So 72,000 plus 20,000 plus 25,500 plus 30,000 plus 75,000 plus 15,000 322,500. There is other cost also, that is electricity purchased. 5,000 units were purchased at the rate 6 per unit. So total cost it will be 997,080. Anyone with any doubts or queries? Now, divided by units that we have to calculate. So we will get the cost per. Now, while see herein in this industry, in power generation industry, the key is basically the calculation of units of electricity generated. See, there are two questions that are given in the study material wherein the electricity generated is given straight away. But in this question, there are few additional points also. So see, we'll write down effective units generated. See, units generated were how much? 2 lakh. There is a normal loss of how much? 3,000 units. I think it is 3,000. Yes. 1,97,000 units. In this, we add units purchased. That is 5,000. So we'll get 2,02,000. This is what we call as the effective units. In this, it is given that 10% of the effective units generated are used by the internally by the generation department. So 10% used. So herein it will be 20,200 is used. So net 181,800. So cost per unit of electricity will be how much? 997,080 divided by 5.48. So this is the way to solve the question. Anyone with any doubts or queries, you guys can please post your queries. I hope, Garv, you are able, I hope you understand where exactly you went wrong. Yes, Garv. Khushbu, I hope you're thorough with the concepts. Mehak, any doubts? Yes, Garv, Mehak, any doubts? Arun, Gayatri? See again, Mehak, if you solve all the questions of study material, that is more than sufficient. But yes, to check the variety of question, you have to solve MTP or RTP. So Mehak, since you have not, Mehak, since one second, huh? One second, Mehak, see a question from my end. Anything you find different from what you have studied in the study material? See, as I discussed previously also, that in this chapter, the point is calculate the total cost divided by units. So herein also, I have calculated the total cost divided by number of units. Anything new you have learned today, Mehak, in this question? See, again, see these types of new points you will find everywhere. In every question, you will find in every new questions you will find these types of point. अगर सब कुछ ही स्टडी मटेरियल से आ जाएगा तो everyone will score good marks. So the point is, I mean, in examination you will find one tricky point in every question. So the point is, focus on the concept and try to solve as many as possible question in writing. Try to write down your own solution instead of just doing ticking in the study material or in any of the books. Better write your own solution, so it will help you to develop that skill to solve new questions. So while writing the paper in exam, it will help you a lot, Mehak. See, Arun, as I told you, half of the work is done when you read the question carefully. See, I just see while reading the question only. See, I just mentioned also. See, I'm just start reading the question again. See, just before the cost data starts, see, it is given the following information has been taken from the record in connection with generation of power during the month. So the entire data is given monthly. So why you are taking depreciation annually? See, these are the silly mistakes what every students do in exam. When I was a student, even I used to do these silly mistakes. So the point is, to avoid these kinds of mistakes, you need to read the question carefully. And plus, practice is the key. I hope, Arun, it is clear. Specifically in service costing, do check it properly that the data is given monthly or yearly. That is very important, Arun. Anyone else with any doubts or queries or anything you want me to discuss? Else we'll be going for a break. So, Mehak, try to solve as many as possible question from RTPs, MTPs, or past practice manual. You will find very good questions in past practice manual also. So, try to solve as many as possible questions in writing. Write your own solution. Instead of checking the solution in the study material, write your own solution and then check the final answer. That is the key. Yes, it is somehow somewhere correct, but see, in the question itself, see the language. Again, as I told you, that there is no specific format in service costing, apart from transportation industry, wherein you have to classify the cost in three parts. See, in all the other industry, you have to check the hints that are given in the question. In the question itself, it is given that there are two parts, that is boiler house and generation station. Further, it's practically not possible here to classify it as fixed or variable. Because are there any hints given in the question, Gayatri, that this is fixed, this is variable? No. How will you classify the fuel handling or repairs and maintenance? Where you will classify? It's practically not possible to classify fixed and variable, and no hints are also given in the question that this is fixed or variable. So better check the hints that are given in the question and accordingly classify all the cost. Yes, depreciation is fixed. See, there are few items you can easily classify that this is fixed, this is variable, this is variable, this is variable, this is variable, this is fixed. But again, here in this repairs and maintenance, fuel handling, it will be quite difficult to classify that it is fixed or variable. So to avoid confusion, better understand the hints that are given in the question and accordingly classify all the costs. Anyone else with any doubts or any guidance needed? So fine, guys, let's take a break of 15 minutes. I'll be back after 15 minutes with few more questions. Edmund sir, are you there? Break started? Okay. I'm live now. Welcome back, friends. So we are done with this question. Now let's proceed further with one more question from the material what I have provided. Since we'll be able to discuss only one question, so I just want to cover this question. It's a very good question. Question number 2 from RTP Gen. Sorry, 1 second. Question number 3 from RTP May 2022. I request you guys to open question number 3rd, RTP May 2022. So let's start with this question wherein Navya Limited, LMV Private Limited. Again, guys, read the question carefully. If you solve hundreds of questions and in exams, if you don't read the question carefully, trust me, you won't be able to solve. So read each and every word of the question carefully. The data is given for the month, year, or whatever it is. So Navya LMV Private Limited operates cab / car rental service in Delhi NCR. It provides services to the office of Noida, Gurugram, and Faridabad. At present, it operates CNG fueled car, but it is also considering to upgrade these into electric vehicles. The details related with the owing of CNG and EV propelled cars are as tabulated below, wherein the car purchase price is given, that is 9,20,000. Government subsidy on the purchase of car is given. Life of the car is given. Residual value. Mileage is given. Electricity consumption per full charge is given. CNG cost per kilo is given. Power cost per kilowatt is given. Annual maintenance cost is given. So this data is given annually, and annual insurance cost is given. Tire replacement cost in every 5 years. Very important. The tires are to be replaced in every 5 years, and battery is to be replaced in every 8 years. Apart from the above, the following are the additional information that are given, wherein average distance covered by a car in a month is 1500 kilometers. Driver salary is 20,000 per month. Garage rent per car is 4,500 per month. Share of office and administration cost per car is 1,500 per month. Required, calculate the operating cost of vehicle per month per car for both CNG and EV option. Now the question is saying what? Calculate the operating cost of vehicle per month. That is, we have to prepare the statement monthly. If the question is silent, you can prepare it in any of the way, either monthly or yearly. But herein the question has clearly mentioned that you have to prepare it monthly. So let's start with this question. So let's start with fixed or standing cost, wherein we will start with depreciation first of all. Let's prepare a working note only. So the cost is 9,20,000. Residual value is 95,000. Useful life is 15 years. Since we have to calculate it monthly, so 920 minus 95,000 divided by useful life 15 years divided by 12. So 4583. Similarly for ED also. See, the cost is 15,20,000. However, there is a government subsidy. So the net cost will be how much? 13,70,000. The net cost is 13,70,000 minus the residual value is 1,70,000 divided by useful life 10 years. So it comes to 10,000. So 4583.33 and this is 10,000. So depreciation is done now. Next is annual maintenance cost. So this is fixed or standing cost. We'll write down ahead variable or running cost. And the third one is so annual maintenance cost is 8,000. So 8,000 divided by 12, it is 666.67. So this will be 666.67. And this will be 5,200 divided by 12. It comes to 433.33. Next is annual insurance cost. So it will go under fixed cost. So insurance cost is 7,600 divided by 12. So it is 633.33. And it is 14,600 divided by 12. So it is 1216.67. Next is carriage rent, tire replacement and battery replacement that we'll be discussing separately. We'll write down driver salary, garage rent, and share of office and administration expenses. Driver salary is 20,000 per month. Garage rent is 4,500 per month, and share of office and administration cost 1,500 per month. Anyone with any doubts or queries till now? Yes? Anyone with any doubts or queries? Now, we'll write down the diesel cost also. So let's start with CNG. Now it is given that the average distance covered by a car in a month is 1,500 kilometers and mileage is 20 kilometers. The second is CNG or power. For CNG based car and for EV based car. So the distance traveled is 1,500 kilometers and the mileage is 20 kilometer per kg. So see, the distance traveled is 1,500 and 20 kilometers per kg. So in short, how many kgs were required? 75 kgs, and we are paying at the rate 60. So this will be 4,500. CNG will be 4,000. Similarly, in electric vehicle also, 240 kilometer per charge. 1 second. Now see, so in one full mileage is 240 kilometer per charge. We are running for 1,500 kilometer, and in one go, it runs for 240 kilometers. So how many times the charging will be done? 6.25 times. And once we charge in full, 30 kilowatt is consumed. So total, how many kilowatt will be consumed? 30 into 1,500 divided by 240. And the rate of electricity is 7.6. So we'll multiply it by 7.6. Anyone with any doubts or queries? See, 1,500 divided by 240, we will get the number of times we will be charging the vehicle. So it is 6.25 times we will charge the vehicle. And every time we charge in full, total 30 kilowatts are consumed. And the per kilowatt electricity cost is 7.6. So 1,500 divided by 240 into 30 into 7.6. So it is 1425. Anyone with any doubts or queries? This part is very good. So anyone, let me check if there are any queries. Yes, anyone with any doubts or queries in this part? Yes, Mehak, Khushbu, Arun, Garv, any doubts? Gayatri? So we are done with the CNG and power part now. So next is tire and battery replacement cost. Can anyone tell me what will be the tire replacement cost of CNG vehicle? Waiting for your answers. What will be the tire replacement cost of CNG vehicle per month? Do share your calculations also. I think I've got same answer from everyone. This answer is incorrect. Khushbu, Garv and Arun, your answers are incorrect. Rest all waiting for your answer. Read the question carefully. The question is not that simple, guys. Tamanna, your answer is incorrect. As expected, I think everyone is posting the same answer. Kushi Gupta, waiting for your answers. Avjeet. Arun, Mehak, waiting for your answer. The answer, what you have posted, everyone, is incorrect. So now let's start with this part, tire replacement cost. See, it is given that tire replacement cost in 5 years, it is 16,000. The tire replacement cost in every 5 years is 60,000. It means after every 5 years, we have to replace the tire, and the cost of tire is how much? 16,000. Now, see, here in the useful life of CNG car is how much? 15 years. Useful life of the vehicle is how much? 15 years. Tire replacement after how many years? 5 years. So can anyone tell me during the entire useful life, how many times? Very good guy, very good Gayatri now. During the entire life of CNG car, how many times the tire will be replaced? See, just think practically. I have purchased a car. My useful life of the car is how much? 15 years. Now, once the 5 years end, I have to replace the tire. So after the end of 5th year, I'll replace the tire. Very good. not to be replaced at the end of the life. So after the end of 5th year, in 6th year, I'll replace the tire and it will go till 10th year, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So one time replacement done. Now second time in the 11th year, I'll replace the tire. So it will work till 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. After 15, the car will be scrapped. So how many times the tire need to be replaced? Number of times tires need to be replaced 2 times. Because when we purchase the car, we get new tires. So after 5 years, the tire will be worn out. So we'll be replacing the tires. And after 10th year, we'll be again replacing the tire. And at the end of the 15th year, we will scrap the car. So only 2 times the tire will be replaced. Cost of tire is how much? 16,000. So total cost in 2 years, total cost will be 16,000 into 2, 32,000. Yes, when you purchase a car, the car price is inclusive of all. That is including the tires also by default, dear. So now, depreciation per month will be how much? 32,000 divided by 15 divided by 12. So 32,000 is the cost, divided by 15 is the useful life, divided by 12. So it will be 177.7. I'm just writing with depreciation per year. 32,000 divided by 15. It will be 2133. So depreciation per month will be how much? $177.7. Anyone with any doubts or queries? Yes, I hope everything is clear now. Arun, Khushbu, Khushi, Gayatri, Garv, Tamanna, any doubts? Yes, friends, any doubts? See, total cost is 32,000 divided by useful life of the vehicle is 15 years. So in a period of 15 years, the total cost that will be incurred will be how much? 32,000. So 32,000 divided by 15, it will be per year. And if we divide it by 12 months, it will be per month. So similarly, I hope it is clear now, Tamanna. Now, similarly for EV car also, see, the useful life is how much? 10 years. So can anyone tell me the useful life of the vehicle is 15 years? Sorry, 10 years. Tire replacement after 5 years. So how many times a tire need to be replaced? Very good, 1 time. So what is the cost of the tire? It is 16,000. So total cost will also be 16,000. So 16,000 divided by useful life is 10 years divided by 12. So it comes to 133.33. So we have got the depreciation per month. That is I hope this part is clear to all. Anyone with any doubts or queries? I request you guys to copy this explanation because I'll be erasing this part. Still the battery part is left. See, the useful life is 15 years. Tire are to be replaced after 5 years. So when you purchase a car, you get new tires with the car. At the end of the 5th year, we will replace the tire. So first time the tire will be replaced in 6th year, January. Let's assume that we have purchased the car in January. So on 1st January, after 5 years, that is in the 6th year, we will replace the tire. So from 6th year, 7th year, 8th year, 9th year, and 10th year. After 10th year, the tire will be worn out. Again, we have to replace for 11, 12, 13, 14, 15th. And at the end of the 15th year, we will scrap the car. So how many times the tire will be replaced in this case? 2 times. I hope, Mehak, your query is resolved. I request you guys to copy this part, please. Very good, Gayatri. So now let's start. So the point is, examiner can ask anything. So the point is, you have to read the question carefully and try to figure out what examiner is asking. Anyways, now next is so battery replacement cost in every 8 years. Useful life 15 and 10. Replacement 8 years. What will be the number of replacement? Yes, what will be the number of replacements? Arun, how come 2 times? It is 1 time for both. Because after 8th year, we will replace the battery. Until the time the battery is completely exhausted, we have to scrap the car. So 1 time, and here also 1 time. So cost of battery. Since we are replacing it for the 1 time only, so we will just directly take the battery cost, that is 12,000 and 5,40,000. So depreciation per month will be how much? So 12,000 divided by 15 years divided by 12 months. So it comes to 83.33. And it comes to 4,500. So this is all what about this question. Anyone with any doubts or queries, you guys can post. I hope the total is correct. Anyone with any doubts or queries, you guys can speak to me. In the meanwhile, I suggest you guys to copy the solution. I suggest you guys to copy this explanation. It's a very good question asked in RTP May 2022. Anyone with any doubts or queries?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, battery replacement cost 66.66 and 415 EID.
1 second. Calculation mistake. Anyways, thank you so much.
Sir, 450 for EV as well.
Huh?
Sir, 450, not 4500.
This will be 4,500 only. The cost of battery is 5,40,000 divided by 10 divided by 12. So it is 4,500.
सॉरी सर, वहाँ पे आपने 54,000 लिखा हुआ है.
4,500. This is 4,000. This is depreciation per month. Cost of battery.
सर, कॉस्ट ऑफ बैटरी आपने 54,000 लिखा हुआ है.
Okay.
यस सर, थैंक यू सर.
See, Garv, after solving this question, read all the other questions. You will be able to understand. See, herein in the language, it is given that tires need to be replaced after so and so year. So, here the difference is in the language of the question, Garv. Anyone else with any doubts or queries? I'm done with this chapter. I'm done with everything. Rest all the questions are from, I have taken 2-3 more questions, but it's already 9:30. So try to solve the question anyways. I mean, in simple terms, the concept is still the same. That is calculation of total cost divided by units. Units may vary from industry to industry. As far as the format is concerned, there is only one part wherein you have to follow the format, that is in transportation industry. Rest, you have to decide the format on your own. Again, the chapter is very easy. Yes, you can check my recorded session, Gayatri. I have taught overheads also in one of the previous batches. Can you please unmute and speak to me what exactly you are asking, Gayatri?
Sir, other than ICAI classes, sir.
Your
Sir,
voice is not echo हो रहा है आपका voice.
Other than ICAI classes, sir, for amount.
It's not available over YouTube. Just check out the sessions on ICAI. I have discussed everything in detail in overhead. Still, if you find any sort of difficulty, just drop me a mail, cma-inter@icai.in. I'll help you out with it. Don't worry, Gayatri. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Any difficulty you are facing in overheads? Yes, Gayatri? Okay, no problem. So just drop me a mail if anything you find. Yes, Garv, tell me. If anything you are finding difficult, just drop me a mail addressing my name. I'll be addressing all your queries, Gayatri. Yes, Garv, tell me.
Sir, there was a budgets question where there were two products and you had to calculate profit for each product. So I calculated it by
which chapter? Which chapter?
budgets.
Budget. Okay.
So you had to calculate profit per product. So how the answer did it was the apportion fixed cost to each product equally. But what I did was that I didn't do it. I simply took the contribution and then totaled the contributions of both and then reduced fixed cost from them.
I'm not getting what you're saying.
Cost of products, they apportioned it as per that overhead method, but I used marginal costing method. Nothing was specified in the question.
So what exactly you did?
Marginal costing. I took contribution of both the products and then I reduced fixed cost from it.
Just share me the question, yaar.
सर बहुत पुराना क्वेश्चन है, मुझे भी नहीं याद.
नहीं यार, क्वेश्चन नहीं शेयर करोगे तो फिर मैं कैसे बता पाऊंगा? बिकॉज क्वेश्चन की लैंग्वेज में कुछ ना कुछ तो दिया हुआ होगा यार.
ओके सर, कोई बात नहीं.
हाँ, कुछ कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. और मैं मार्जिनल कॉस्टिंग भी मैं पढ़ाने वाला हूँ, तो अगर तुम्हें कुछ वो क्वेश्चन मिल जाता है तो जस्ट शेयर इट. आई ट्राई टू एड्रेस योर क्वेरी. डोंट वरी. रेस्ट यू आर थॉरो विद द कॉन्सेप्ट्स. Okay. CMA-inter@ICAI.in. CMA-inter@ICAI.in. Addressing my name. I'll be there to address all your queries, Khushbu. So enough of discussion for today on service costing. Again, there is no alternate of hard work. Don't do ticking. Try to write your own solution, prepare your own solution, and then once you're ready with the answer, then check the study material. Sometimes you'll find it irritating, time consuming, but trust me, your efforts will pay you back. So there is no alternate of hard work. Practice, focus on the concepts. No one can stop you from scoring distinction in costing. So take care of yourself. My next class is on Monday, wherein I'll be discussing standard costing. So come prepared with all your doubts on standard costing. I'll be discussing few questions on standard costing. So whatever the queries you have, you can speak to me. I'm there to address all your queries. But since these are the revisionary classes, now you have sufficient time. So try to learn all the concepts. You can check my recorded session and try to solve all the questions and then come prepared in the next session. So it will help you to clear all your doubts or queries, whatever it is. So thank you so much for your time and patience and for active participation in the session. God bless you, and make sure, don't forget, come prepared in the coming session. You'll find, again, standard costing is very important. So, I just want you guys to be thorough with the concept. So work hard, come prepared for the standard costing. See you on Monday. Thank you so much. Admin sir? Admin sir, done. Yeah.
Recording stopped.